Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Welcome to the ChatGPT podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Each episode, we dive into the latest developments in the exciting field of artificial intelligence, exploring its applications and potential impacts on our daily lives. Today's episode is brought to you by Self-Pause, which is an AI life coach that I absolutely love. Self-Pause allows you to go and have a conversation around anything that you're trying to achieve. It helps you set goals. It helps you build positive habits, eliminate limiting beliefs. It's essentially just your personal coach for anything that you're trying to focus on in life. The best AI life coach. You need to check them out. Go download the app. This is something that seriously can change your mindset, and I am a massive believer in mindset. I know that if you change your mindset, you can accomplish anything you want to. So go download the Self-Pause app today, iOS and Android. This is something you absolutely need to get. Nvidia has been making some big headlines recently in the news because they just passed a $1 trillion valuation. Now their share fell a little bit, so they're not quite there at the moment. But this is really impressive. Only a handful of companies have ever done this, and all of this success from Nvidia is all due to AI and the fact that they are supplying most of the chips, and they have a massive lead in chip sales for AI right now. So today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about why Nvidia is doing so well, what the new products they've just announced are, where we see them in the future, and what this entire industry looks like in general. So the first thing I want to say is that they, of course, they're not at a $1 trillion valuation at this very moment. They hit there, although I don't think it's going to be very far off. It's, they're over 900 billion, so it's pretty close. I think it is pretty interesting to know, though, that last fall, their CEO, Jensen Huang, he said that they had actually built too many gaming GPUs, because that's what really propelled Nvidia in the past was, they had these really powerful GPUs. They were really useful for gaming. They made a lot of hardware that crypto used. And as crypto sales and, the whole cryptocurrency and mining markets kind of fell down, and also, demand for PC gaming was also falling, because during the pandemic, gaming PCs and all of the GPUs that were used for that was really high. So with the pandemic over and cryptocurrency in a, crypto winter, it looked like Nvidia was about to take a bit of a beating because there's going to be a lot less demand. And actually, after they said that they built too many gaming GPUs, they were forced to sell them for less money. But by the time Nvidia had its next report in February, ChatGPT was all over the news. And so the kind of the outlook of Nvidia was a lot more promising, and their CEO really hyped up the potential that Nvidia would be able to build, data centers and be able to kind of supply what was happening in AI. So over the weekend, Nvidia had Nvidia's Computex 2023 keynote where their CEO spoke, and it was really just full of tons of announcements about AI. And that also included a demo of, games using its Avatar cloud engine, which we're going to talk about, and just all of the new chips, this new supercomputer they had built, and a bunch of different things. And of course, that really propelled their stock price up, which jumped over 25% last week. So the things that they announced at this conference that really propelled this forward, and where we see them really being successful, the first one is the full production of the GeForce RTX 4080 Ti GPU. So for gamers, essentially, this is just a really, really big graphics card. This thing is highly coveted. If you go on their website right now, it's $1,200 starting. And of course, there's a lot more buying options. A lot of people are, just saying this thing is super ahead of its time. And it's just essentially a very, very powerful tool for gamers. So that's the first thing they announced. And of course, that helps. But the next one that really dives into the world of AI is the fact that they announced something called Nvidia Omniverse ACE. And ACE stands for Avatar Cloud Engine. And I've actually heard a lot of companies talk about doing businesses within this area, a lot of startups, but essentially It is a suite of real-time AI solutions for end-to-end development and deployment of interactive avatars and digital human applications at scale. That's what they say on their website. But pretty much what that means is this is all of the tools and engines you need for people to create essentially digital avatars that can talk and speak. This is powerful for video games because there's a lot of characters in video games, right? They're called NPCs, non-player characters that, like, for example, there might be like a tavern and there's like the guy that runs the tavern, and you go into there in the video game and you ask him a question and he tells you like where to go next on your quest, right? So that's kind of how traditionally in the past there was just a script that he would say and you just had to get it out of him. But now what they're doing is they're hooking that up to ChatGPT, where it has like content or it has text that it needs to pass on, but you have to actually have a conversation with these NPCs or these avatars. And that's just one use case, but there's a lot of different use cases. And anyways, Nvidia has built out an entire engine, their ACE engine, that can take text, voice, video inputs, and it can spit out, really complex conversations with avatars. And it's not just, the conversation piece within a video game, but they actually do animated AI, so they can bring an avatar to life with realistic 2D and 3D character animations based off of the video or audio input. So you could stick, a video. You could pre-record one use case of this. You could pre-record a video, for example, in a video game, or an audio, and feed it into this, and then it would have the character speaking that. It also does speech AI, so you can create a lot deeper kind of user engagement with avatars that can hear, understand, and speak in real time. Now, I think that this is absolutely massive when we're talking about speaking in real time. You could have something like a life coach or a therapist or someone, a soccer coach or anything really. And if you have this ability to have this real-time speech where there's not any latency, so you could actually have a conversation, I believe this could be really, really powerful, where you're not sitting there waiting for a response and it feels very fluid like a conversation. The other thing they have is conversational AI and NLP, so you can develop fully autonomous, intelligent avatars using pre-trained generative AI language models. And imagine just the power of, this isn't just like a faceless ChatGPT where you query it and it gives you responses, but all of a sudden this is an avatar that looks like someone, or it's the 3D character of a person, and it has all of this information, and you can talk to it and it can give you information in real time. Really, really powerful for a lot of different tools. And kind of looking at their platform, their Omniverse ACE platform, it looks like it's very intuitive to kind of build these things out. So if you're not, people that it doesn't require a lot of coding skills necessarily. It looks like they have a drag and drop kind of node connector builder where you can kind of make a flow and connect your nodes together to create one of these like conversations or data pieces with one of these AI avatars. So very powerful. I think that's a really big platform. And of course, the whole genius of this platform is that I feel like Nvidia just comes out with software that is really intensive on using GPUs and using all of their hardware. So of course they're making a product that is really intensive on hardware, so you're gonna have to buy the best hardware possible. The other thing that they announced is their CUDA zone, or I guess they more just talked about the fact that they have something called Nvidia CUDA. It's a computing model and essentially allows developers to use powerful graphics cards to speed up their programs. They've been talking about the success of that, so that helped their stock price. They talked about the production of the GHX H100 GPU server. Essentially, this is just a really big computer for AI. And when I say really big computer, like this is a supercomputer. It really is one of the most powerful end-to-end AI supercomputer platforms. And they have built this to really bring together all the full power of their other NVIDIA products, their other NVIDIA GPUs, and essentially make a very, very powerful computing platform to run AI models quickly and for deep learning training, for performance and scalability. This is just like, this supercomputer is next level. And of course, everyone is going to want to get their hands on this when training AI models. And this is going to, be a really big sales seller for Nvidia. Now, the thing that I do think is interesting talking about Nvidia and all of this amazing hardware they have, they really are much further ahead of the competition than you might think. Facebook, for example, or Meta, I guess, is they announced that they have some chips specially designed for training AI models. And what was really interesting is the fact that they said that their chips are not even going to be out till 2025. So, just based off of that, that Nvidia is miles ahead of the competition. Google has some chips, but it's really hard for these companies to really scale and hit mass production on this. So the fact that Nvidia has all the factories up, they have all the partnerships, and they're ready to go right now, there will be competitors, and a lot of people are definitely going to be jumping into this market, but I believe Nvidia is quite far ahead at the moment, similar to how other people like OpenAI or Google Bard are kind of ahead on the models. There'll definitely be a lot of models, but those players are in the lead. And Nvidia right now is definitely in the lead. And because of the time it takes to spin up, it takes to spin up a warehouse to start or a manufacturing facility to actually start manufacturing all of this, I think Nvidia is going to keep that lead, and it's going to really benefit over the next couple years. The other thing that Nvidia talked about is the fact that they have a partnership with SoftBank for its distributed data centers in Japan. So that really gave them super chips to host all of their own AI data. And also Nvidia has a partnership with WPP, which is the world's biggest advertising agency. So they've also started, using AI to generate ad creatives, which I think is, a really powerful tool that they have. And that's going to change advertising a lot. So Nvidia is starting to make connections with other companies to really scale out the usage of their tools. And also they're just creating a lot of really powerful hardware. So I do believe that we're going to see Nvidia continue to rise. Is Nvidia in a bubble right now? To be honest, because there's not a lot of other competitors doing what they're doing and there is such high demand. Like, honestly, I think a bigger concern isn't necessarily like, oh, is some other competitor going to catch up? But I think Nvidia just kind of has a window where as fast as they can make some of their products, they will sell out. There is massive lineups right now. It's really hard to get to the front of the line. There's wait lists for some of their best GPUs for training AIs, and it's really hard to get some of their hardware. So I think there's just definitely a shortage of that with the demand right now, and I don't know if any competitors are going to be able to scale up any operations quick enough. And so I really do believe Nvidia is gonna take this for a while, but I think one of their biggest constraints is literally just if they can, there's a gold rush right now, and it's just how fast they can manufacture some of their products. So this will be a really interesting area to continue watching in the future. If you are looking for an innovative and creative community of people using ChatGPT, you need to join our ChatGPT creators community. I'll drop a link in the description to this podcast. We'd love to see you there, where we share tips and tricks of what is working in ChatGPT. It's a lot easier than a podcast, as you can see screenshots, you can share and comment on things that are currently working. So if this sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the comment. We'd love to have you in the community. The innovation in AI right now is absolutely exploding. If you want to stay on top of all the insane disruptions and innovation that's happening right now, you need to subscribe to our newsletter on AIbox.ai. We send you daily everything that is happening, the news and the crazy advancements in AI technology straight to your inbox for free every single day. So go to AIbox.ai, subscribe, and stay ahead of the curve on the world of AI. You've been listening to the ChatGPT podcast. Make sure to rate us wherever you listen to your podcasts, and have a fantastic week.